I'm Patia.
And I'm Rachel.
And it's time to wake up in Provincetown.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown. This week featuring Wake up, wake up. Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey. Ho. Hey. Wake up, wake up. Oh. Whee! No, really, can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up.
Portion of the film festival. What is your title?
Oh, I wish I had my badge on me. I am events producer, along with Sam, our tech producer right now behind the desk, and Neely Coe, who was gracious enough to step into the studio today to help me at this last minute. And they're an amazing team, and we are producing all the parties and making sure everybody has what they need when they need it.
Bob said there's no sound. Is there? Let me know.
Oh, this is fun. So we'll talk very loudly. This is me flying a kite for the film festival. It's all right. We're fine. This is a live TV show, and sometimes things.
Yay!
Hey! Oh my God, you guys missed so much. I gave out my social security number,
credit card numbers, the whole thing.
all of it. I guess you missed it.
So I'll just start again. Welcome. It is June 14th. We're in the middle of Pride Month. Bob is a little under the weather this morning, and he got a bad haircut.
That's what we're calling it.
Yeah. So I dragged Mark out from behind the camera about 20 minutes ago and was like, "You're going to sit and talk with me."
And I couldn't think of a better way to start my morning on this very busy week I have.
Right. Mark is extra busy this week. He is the events producer for the film festival that's began this Wednesday and is happening all weekend. Every time I've seen you the past couple of days, you're like zooming somewhere or unloading something or
pointing at my assistants Sam and Neely, who are vital to getting all of these events and fun parties going. It's been really satisfying. They have an amazing team at the film festival. And Hubble has gathered people from all over the country. They fly in, they do these festivals, and it's pretty awesome to see it all come together in a very short amount of time, but with a lot of planning.
Yeah, it's also incredible how it is kind of a 50-50 split of like representing people, local people, and also bringing in some incredible people to experience the town.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And it's a lot of young first-time filmmakers that get to come to town and check it out. We were at the opening party the other night, and I was sitting with some coworkers, and this person came over and said, "Hi, I don't know anybody here. My name is Neil. I made a film. I just arrived." He's like, "What should I do in this town?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I love that you just came up to four strangers." He's like, "I don't know anybody else, so you look like you knew what was happening." So, and then he came to the party last night. We had a little chat. It's great to see young people getting their first start to have a place that supports them, that they can come here and then experience the magic of our town and maybe move here.
Yeah. I was biking down the street and I passed by Coleman Domingo. He's so handsome. It's wild.
I saw, and I know it's like everybody on TV. I was like, I just picture him being like 6'7", And he's not. He's 6 foot, but
I
he
always think that of celebrities.
I know, right?
That they're going to be enormous, and then they're just regular size.
just regular size. But he was very sweet. He had his panel discussion at the Crown and Anchor the other day, and I was peeking through the door, and Neely was peeking through the door. Then someone stood in front of us, but I got to hear a little bit of his discussion, and he credited our local John Waters as being the inspiration for his sense of humor.
Oh, cute.
And I know he had
Sounds
a show.
twisted.
Yeah, I'm sure. He had a showing of his film Sing Sing at Town Hall yesterday. He had to scoot out of town. I'm sure he's making the circuit, but it was great to see him.
A big thank you to Corey and the staff at the Provincetown Film Festival for setting us up with Joel Kim Booster. We're gonna have an interview with him later. I did get to interview him this past Wednesday while he was literally flying through town.
Yeah.
But also a big thank you to João Santos and the Jonathan Williams Salon. I found out that day I was interviewing him and I was like, I'm hideous. I need a haircut. So João and Jonathan Williams opened the salon just for me. I felt like a celebrity.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, my plan was to have Joel Kim Booster fall in love with me. What he didn't know is that it was actually the second taping of Mary Harry and he was the only contestant. But it didn't.
You've been pumped.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out that way, but that's okay.
I happen to know that he had a touch up himself at our friends who do the makeup.
Oh,
3-color makeup, and I just ran into him at the grocery store. He's like, Joel Kim Booster's team contacted me about doing a little refresh of him. So
he did look very handsome.
Yeah, he is very handsome and sweet. Could not be sweeter.
Definitely. And it was such a great interview, which we'll find out shortly.
Absolutely.
So I've had a wild week. I realize the crash is coming for me shortly because Todd left town for the summer for a few months. He's back in town for the film festival, but he left for the summer. But my friend Sunny was here overlapped a day or two, and then when Sunny left, my good friend Benji came to town and overlapped him a little, and in a week or so all my friends will be gone from town.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, really, 2 of them are here, but okay.
So many of them are here. No, it's just
all the fun important people that don't live here,
all the people that are willing to smoke a joint on my couch with me and play video games and eat snacks.
I've never been invited, even though I don't play video games. I would smoke a joint and eat snacks.
Perfect. I have a list of people I can have fill their spot. But it was an extra fun weekend last weekend. It was Sunny's last weekend. He was running me ragged. I went to the underwear party with him. I made it to church.
Oh, yes.
It was church's first night. It was really a fun time. It is my favorite party in town. It is so towny centric. And my favorite thing is to lean on the railing and look cool. Because that's what that party's all about.
It's all about. And it's also about dancing. Sean Gardner, DJ Potato Salad, will be doing spinning the tracks this Sunday for the film festival.
Yeah. DJ KT was there this past Sunday. Amazing. Really amazing. Yeah.
Oh, and DJ KT is going to be the DJ at the prom. That's part of the film festival. Their big closing night party, their big Saturday night. It's a big fundraiser for the Provincetown Film Society, which is the society, the organization that produces the film festival, but also keeps our local cinema open year-round so that we all have a place to see movies and do fun things. So if you have a chance to get a ticket for the prom, you can go to provincetownfilm.org to check out the availability of tickets, but it's selling really, really well.
Yeah, I did hear there was some available at the door, but don't wait. I think there's a slight upcharge to buy at the door, so buy in advance.
Buy in advance. It's going to be really fun, and my team and I will be spending our day on the ladders tomorrow, decorating all faggy and whatever for work.
Speaking of Sunny, he had 2 of his friends got married the weekend before, and they came up to visit Sunny in Provincetown for a day. They're straight people. Really sweet, Lauren and Kyle. But I do have to say, I love when straight friends come to town, because I like making people laugh, obviously. And it's so easy making straight people laugh. You can just roll out the gay greatest hits of jokes and they will just eat it
They're
up.
Like, oh my God, you said girl.
Exactly. I do always like to say a few words that are going to shock them. I always like to say a few words that they're going to have to Urban Dictionary on the way home. I feel like that's the experience. And
100%.
yeah.
Do you hand out, give them fans and say this to be a real
do
gay?
that, everyone will love you.
Yes, definitely go do this at Spiritus.
Yeah, but big congratulations on their wedding, Lauren and Kyle, and thanks for coming to visit here in P-Town.
That's great.
Yeah. Also, this past week, I hosted trivia. It was crazy busy. We had 26 teams.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was insane here. So trivia is heating up. There's still even room for more, so come and hang out. We are announcing a brand new sponsor this upcoming Monday. Haven Cannabis is going to be sponsoring trivia, so we'll have some extra special prizes this week.
So instead of smoking a joint on your couch, you can smoke a joint. Well, you can't smoke a joint in a brewery or any establishment other than your home.
Right.
Just be known.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think I'm going to write my rounds on weed themes. I think my visual round is going to be famous stoners. So if you come, you'll get a little clue. You can start researching.
As a sometimes grumpy gardener, you can ask me for all of my thoughts on weeds, and I'll be glad to get them.
Oh, that would be fun. A round on weeds.
Yes, and weeds are just plants you don't want.
Yeah,
like
there's no defined weed. If you don't want a rose in your garden and you have a rose in your garden, it's a weed.
Yeah, it's a weed.
Yeah. I love dandelions. I would never call them a weed.
Dandelions are delicious.
They're beautiful.
Beautiful.
Great fertilizer.
Yeah, and if you keep them in check, I highly recommend allowing them to grow it just a little patch.
Yeah, they are not in check at the bas relief. They're beautiful.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
thousands on the bas relief. It's really pretty. So this upcoming Sunday at 6:30, there is a concert at the Gifford House for Juneteenth. One of my favorite performers on the planet, James Jackson Jr., is going to be performing at that, and he has a little PSA on why you should come. Check this out.
Hi, Wake Up in Provincetown. It's James Jackson Jr. Oh, I missed y'all. Look, Juneteenth is next week, and I'm coming to town this weekend. Sunday, June 16th at 6:30 p.m. at the Wild at the Gifford House. I'm doing a very special Juneteenth Cabaret. So check out juneteenthptown.com to learn more about the utterly amazing group that is sponsoring this event. So I've been doing this very nerdy, historical deep dive about the history of music and art and artists of color who've played Provincetown over the last 100 years, and you will not believe some of the things that I have found. It's going to be such a magical evening. Mike Flanagan is accompanying me on the piano with Christian McCarthy on the drums. So please, please, please come. Tickets, like I said, are available at juneteenthptown.com, and that'll lead you to all of the things you can click on and purchase at it. So also, friends, this is a fundraiser. We're trying to make sure that there's an ongoing commitment to diversifying the arts and music and performance here in Provincetown, which is something that is so very dear to me. It's so important to me that everyone's story has the chance to be told. Tickets are $40, and I wanted to make sure that this evening was accessible to everyone. That's why there's a discount code. It's also Frolic Weekend, and I thought it would be nice if everyone had the chance to be entertained and to see some of the really amazing research that I have unearthed. So use the discount code Frolic for $25 off the ticket price, which is kind of amazing. So I'll see you all Sunday at the show. Now go be lovely to each other. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Get tickets to that show. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah. This weekend is a busy weekend. In addition to the Provincetown Film Festival, it's also Frolic Weekend, one of my favorite weekends in town. And I was talking with the promoters of that, and they have tripled their ticket sales from last year.
Yeah, it's crazy the amount. We're doing an event at the Gifford House. They're packed. It's going to be so many people, which is awesome.
I think they had a toga party last night.
They did have a toga party. I was driving by. I'm driving up the hill.
Yeah.
I was driving up the hill. I was like, wait, Fag Bash was Wednesday. What is going on tonight?
I saw two groups of people wearing little togas, and I was like, they must have a toga party.
Toga party? Yes.
Yeah. A few more things I did last weekend that I forgot to mention. This past Friday was the rollout of the brand new Bearded Mistress can. It was really amazing. Brittany was here. She sang a few songs. We had musical theater videos on the screen, and it was a packed house. So much fun. Stop by, grab a new 4-pack of the cans with Brittany on them. We also got Cranberry Sour back. It's been a few weeks, and I know people have been itching to get it back, so it's back on draft. Come in and scoop up a Granddaddy Sour.
I also happen to know the Golden Hook is back because I was waiting for that
Golden
to be
Hook
delivered
is
all
back
week.
as well.
They're just restocking here
Yeah,
for summer.
It's happening.
Yes, and thank you to the brewery as one of the sponsors of the Provincetown International Film Festival.
Yeah, and they're also a sponsor of Wake Up in Provincetown and a sponsor of The Devil Wears Payless.
What is this,
So
Harrison?
I've been in Tech Week for The Devil Wears Payless all week. We open this Tuesday. We're going to have 4 shows a week all summer. Get your tickets now. It's so much fun. The cast is incredible. Jamie Morris wrote it and is also starring as Miranda Priestley. My good friend Eden Allegretti, who co-hosted with me a few weeks ago, is also starring as Andy Sachs. And Jonathan Joseph Peters. So many J names.
JJP.
I always stumble. But he is in it as Emily and a few other characters. And I'm playing all of the men.
All of them?
Yeah.
At once?
Yes.
It's like Sybil?
Exactly.
My
But
myself.
we were all talking last night, and we were like, the hardest thing about the show is going to be not breaking. Because it's just utter hilarity and ridiculousness.
Have
But
you ever like broken seriously on stage? Like just where you like couldn't get it out?
it's tough. But it's going to be a challenge to get through this, but definitely get your tickets. It's all summer. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah. All your favorite lines are in it. Don't worry.
Oh, and then some.
Yeah, exactly. And in addition to this opening on Tuesday, another really fun show opening is João Santos. His show It's Not John is opening this Tuesday at the Crown and Anchor. I'm really excited. It is the first time where João is really leaning into his original music. I think he only has a song or 2 that are covers. Most of it's original music. He'll be accompanied by Giuliano, who is a really incredible guitar player who also produced the tracks for this, as well as his boyfriend Andrew on the piano.
Oh wow,
it's a team. Yeah, it's going to be a really great show. I've seen the production of it. It's going to be awesome. And it's also João's birthday this weekend, and the party is happening Tuesday night at his show. So get tickets if you love João. Celebrate him on his birthday and his big opening night with all his original music.
Another opening, I think Hillary Tamar opens on Sunday, and Hillary, I love her spirit, and she's just has this infectious personality, and she's always sweet. When you say, Hillary, will you do this? She's like, yeah, what time? Like, and she's a great talent, and it's called Be My Baby, and it opens at the Crown on Sunday.
Yeah, it's girl groups.
Girl groups, yeah.
You know,
and
I
then
love
you come
girl
to
groups.
church afterwards. See?
Yeah, I really hope she got Danity Kane in there. Probably not, but that's okay.
I don't know what that is.
Also, I went to Butch's for the first time last week, and I've now gone 4 times.
Oh, wow.
The food there is so amazing. And the way I would describe the menu is kind of when you take just what the item is, it seems so simple. It's a burger, it's a hot dog, it's a cabbage or shrimp, and it's literally, but the base meal in itself is simple, but then the amount of flavors that are packed on top the incredible ingredients. I've tried almost everything already in the 4 times I've gone, and I cannot pick a favorite.
Ethan, what's your favorite to make? Ethan, our
you work in the kitchen?
Great cameraman is now working. You're a line cook, yes. Well, what? You're in the prep kitchen. Okay. What's your favorite thing to prep?
He's like, what's easy?
You love to chop that cabbage thing.
But I will.
The simple cherry tomatoes. I love it.
I will say I love the hot dog. If you love cheese, get the cheeseburger.
Who doesn't love cheese?
It's the right amount of cheese.
Okay.
But it's
just
it's
cheese
fantastic.
with like a little bit of meat.
No, it's a big burger, and then the cheese is like heaping.
Yes, I love a heaping.
Congratulations to Kelly, Mary, all the staff over there at the Crown and Anchor. Congratulations on a really incredible restaurant opening.
Yeah, I think that's. I've been there setting up for events and stuff, and the staff there is my favorite guys in the morning. Just like, oh, the table's already loaded for you. I was like, that's not your job. But I always be nice to the people behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
In life, it will get you so far, and be genuine about it. But like treat with respect and kindness, and they will load trucks for you without even being asked.
Totally.
It's amazing.
Totally. I do have a couple news stories. I guess I don't know if this is local news, but I just wanted to celebrate. One of our favorite people in town, one of our favorite performers, Recchio Mondale, made it down to the Capitol this past week for Trans Empowerment Day. She was joined by the Trans Emergency Fund, which is a Boston-based nonprofit that helps trans people And we've had them on the show before. Really incredible people doing really incredible work. They made it to the Capitol for Trans Empowerment Day. And one of my favorite things that they did is they all gathered to take a picture in front of one of those absolutely stupid signs that I'm sure it was Marjorie Taylor Greene or some other imbecile outside their office. And it said, there are two genders, male and female. And then in quotes, trust the science. Like they're joking. Trust the science. I think it's just they don't know what quotations mean or are for.
Or what science means.
Or what science is, or the fact that science absolutely refutes the idea that there are only two genders. But a big congratulations to them for making it down to the Capitol. And I can't think of a better person to represent Provincetown and our trans community at the Capitol than Recchio.
And our health community.
Yes. She works at Teston Tree and Outer Cape. She performs at the post office. She is an advocate. She was there because she is part of the National Showgirl and Showman pageantry system. She won that pageant last year. Just an incredible person all around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And PSA, get your monkeypox booster if you haven't already done it.
Yeah. Talk to your healthcare professional about getting a monkeypox booster as well as a COVID booster.
Yes, COVID boosters. If you haven't, just because it went away in our heads doesn't mean it went away. There's little outbreaks here and there.
And we know it loves to pop up midsummer here in P-Town.
Yeah, right. You're all worn down and you got the cake. Is it the crud? Is it the pine pollen or is it COVID? Who knows?
Right. This past week in women's basketball news, they did announce the Olympic team, and they had 14 players come to like the tryouts, and they had to cut 2 to make their 12-person roster. And people are up in arms because Caitlin Clark, the star of the college tournament this past year, was not. She was there as part of the 14, but didn't make that final 12 cut. And people are up in arms, and I think people need to relax. She's having a slight adjustment, as all the rookies are, to the WNBA, and she'll be ready when she's ready.
So are they up in arms because they're like, of course she should go because she was the #1 thing, or like, but that's not how that works.
A lot of people. She definitely brought a lot of new viewers to women's basketball, and she is obviously incredible. But the people that are on the team are Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, these players that are also incredible. And I feel like the new people think that she is this phenom when she is, but like there are plenty of absolutely incredible, unstoppable women playing in the WNBA.
And it's not based on like your overall past record. It's like it's like
the
there's the tryouts, like how did you do
team
in this moment, and how are you working with the other people?
I think the MNBA is having games right now, but who could ever know? I'm just kidding. The Boston Celtics are, if they win tonight, they are the champions.
Yay, Shamrock.
Yay, MNBA.
Yeah. Talking about like Olympics and qualifying stuff. And I won't know his name, but there was a male, the only male, to synchronize swimming. And he's a coach, and he's been doing it for like 30 years. He's one of the oldest people to try out for the Olympics. And everybody's like, oh my God, it would be amazing if he could go as the only male member of this thing. Totally. And, hopes were high. And he didn't make the team. And he was like, I didn't make the team. It would have been great if I could have, but I didn't. But I'm not like going to trash talk the other people that did, because they're all professionals, and I didn't do as well as they did, which is exactly how it works.
Totally. Yeah. A little music news that I'm sure no one but me cares about. But Charlie XCX's album came out. It's called Brat. It is incredible. It got rated 94 on Metacritic, which is the highest rating of a pop album. It is being lauded all over. It's a great album.
I don't deny it. I mean, modern music to me sounds like two robots fighting. So I don't. It doesn't work for old ears. But
is a fan of hyperpop. She's been heavily influenced, and she worked her old collaborator Sophie, who has unfortunately since passed. But this album is heavily inspired by Sophie and is a tribute to her. So it's hyperpop. So I think it'll sound like 5 robots fighting.
5 robots fighting and singing jump rope songs. Yeah. Singing jump rope songs. Yeah.
It's a great album, and it's also it's hitting the queer community really hard.
All right, great. Yeah. Music is for everyone, and pop music is for young people, and I am very happy.
Young people and me.
And young people and Harrison, yes.
A couple other news stories involving sports. The ocean rowing, it started this week. It's happening this week. They basically leave from the LA area and row to Hawaii.
Oh my God.
By hand.
How many people?
it's like 15 teams, and for the first time ever, there are more women competing than men.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, so really exciting stuff there. And also, the American cricket team got invited. They were just like, oh, we'll let the Americans come play, even though they're terrible at it. And then they beat one of the top-rated teams, so they made a big mark. They did lose to India, I think, yesterday, but that's so incredible for America, considering it's not a very widely played sport in America.
And they're playing in America, right? They're playing in Queens?
I'm not sure.
I think so. I think they like built this giant cricket stadium, like just assembled it like Legos, and then in 2 weeks it'll be gone. Like they just like built this big thing because it's a special field and et cetera.
Oh,
yeah.
Great.
I know some sports too here.
Look at you. Look at you.
Look at me.
That's all I've got for today. So let's head over to me and Mark stopped by Days Market a few weeks ago to chat with the owner, Mylan. And we got a lobster roll over there. Check this out.
Good morning, everyone. We are down in the extra East End over at Days Market in Truro with the owner, Mylan, here. Thanks for chatting with me today.
No problem.
Yeah. So how long have you owned the Days Market down here in Truro?
So I opened in 2019, Memorial Weekend. And so, yeah, this is my 6th season here.
Mm-hmm. We were just talking about, whenever people ask where the best lobster rolls are in town, Days Market is always on the very tip of everyone's tongue. So tell us the story about your many lobster rolls.
Yeah, so I have 5 different signature lobster rolls that I started in 2008. I created them for the Red Shack, which I opened in Provincetown next to the surf club. And yeah, it just kind of took off from there. I used to sell about 300 every day. And I thought when I opened this place up that I would bring them back here because the Red Shack is no more. I think 2017 was the last year. I sold it in 2015. And then in 2017, it ended. And so I opened this place in 2019, and I started up the lobster rolls out here. And the word slowly, or quickly, actually kind of got around that I was back out here and back in town.
So you have kind of like a standard lobster roll.
Original, yeah. The original is, I use tail meat, claw meat, and knuckle meat. We have a fresh baked brioche roll that we grill with butter on the grill. Lettuce, tomato, a little bit of mayonnaise, and I buy like special mayonnaise that's better, a little higher quality mayonnaise. And then we do a little bit of scallion in it. So it's lettuce, tomato, lobster, scallion, and in the brioche roll.
And you said people were freaking out a little when you debuted the hot lobster roll.
Yeah, I mean, in 2008, I'm pretty sure I was the first one around here, at least, to do a variation. Everyone did a typical New England lobster roll in a hot dog bun, which some people still love, and plenty of them sold. Celery, mayonnaise, and in a hot dog bun, but I wanted to create something different. It was a brand new business that I was starting in 2008, and so I wanted to be a little different outside the box, and I created 5 different ones.
Yeah, the other 3 I feel like must ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the Moroccan's my favorite. It's definitely different. Nothing overpowers the lobster, though.
Right.
I think they're all designed to, have the lobster as the, the number one ingredient that you taste first.
It's in the title.
Exactly. And but yeah, they're all delicious. We sell probably I would say the Connecticut and the original are our 2 top sellers. Yeah. Californian is the 3rd, and then the Mexican and the Moroccan. But they all sell a lot.
Oh, that's great.
Like they do very well here.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I always come down for a lobster roll, and then I look at the whole menu, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a meatball sub.
You can't go wrong with a meatball sub either, I mean, I make all the spreads. Everything is made in-house here. I make it from scratch, all my original recipes. So I just, I try and serve, high-quality food, homemade, and as quick as we can. We get very busy in the summer. It's nice today. We get a little break to do this.
Totally.
But yeah, no, we're very busy. I open 8 in the morning. In the summertime, I close 7 p.m. every day, 7 days a week. And I'm here every day, 7 days a week.
Damn. So what do you do in the winter?
I try to rest and recoup my body in the winter. Do a lot of travel, and I love it here. I was born and raised here, so I love. I always seem to come back here. I go to California a lot, and South Africa, but I always end up coming back here. So
nice. Are you also the buyer and the the merchandiser of do you pick everything?
Yeah,
Is it you?
I hand pick everything in the store. I try to be more on the specialty side of a grocery store. spent half my life in California, so I do have a little bit of a California flair on things. I always play music, which you don't hear today because
The music was good, but we had to shut it off.
But also, like, I mean, I have a captive audience with the cottages across the way, the top mass. You know, there's a lot of people that are on Beach Point. And if someone's here for 2 weeks, they come in here day one and ask me to get something, I'll go out and get it for them. So
that's great.
You know, I have it for them the whole time that they're here.
Yeah,
so I try to.
As I was walking around, I could very much tell that it was someone picking out the items, and I can tell the things you like. You have one pizza, and it's the Stouffer's French bread pizza, of course.
Because people like that, you know. It's like it started with 2 or 3 people asked me to carry it, and they come in consistently and buy it, you know. So that's what I mean. I try to cater to my audience, and still keep some of the more unique things that that we sell.
Yeah, it's a very fun, eclectic mix of some really interesting products you have here.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. A lot of work goes into it. Part of the inventories and ordering, and which is why I work 15, 17 hours every day.
Oh, damn. So what do you eat when you're having lunch here?
Unfortunately, I don't eat, and I lose 10 or 15 pounds every summer because I just don't.
You just don't have time.
Every summer I lose 10 to 15 pounds. And it's just part of the deal and part of my recuperation in the winter.
I hear. That's when you do all your eating in the winter?
Kind of. And I never gain weight. I stay active. I play hockey. Even last year was the first year that I did not take a break from hockey in the summer. So I still play hockey once a week. It's a 7 o'clock p.m. time slot, so it's not too bad. I don't get home too late.
Yeah.
But 5:15 every morning I get up.
That's
7 days a week.
That's a healthy relationship between work and play. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Yeah.
And I'll be down for a lobster roll soon.
Dave's Market. It's one of the best places to get a lobster roll in town. Please welcome my good friend Benji.
Yay.
Benji, it's so great to see you back in P-Town. It's been too long. Yeah. So, if you don't know Benji, he lived in P-Town for what, 4 years?
4 years. Then I took off to New York. Then 2 months later, I had terminal brain cancer, which I still do. We're alive.
Yeah.
I'm alive.
From my perspective, you're doing great.
Yes.
Benji, I do have to commend you in how you really you learned how to draw with your left hand. You are doing so much. Yeah. I know if I were you, I would not be doing nearly as much. I'm not doing nearly as much as you now. So I know I would be doing even less.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good read on the situation.
This past winter, I went down to Philly to visit Benji, and I was like...
You only come once?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, it's crazy that my friend with brain cancer is making me do more than I would do. I was like, Benji, can we just chill?
What do we do?
We watched movies. We walked around Philly.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
Since you've been here, I've seen you walking all over the place, and like at the Commons.
Yeah.
Installing your art show, which is so awesome to see.
Yeah. So Benji has an art opening tonight at the Commons. Tell us a little about the work in the show.
It's from 5 to 8 at the Commons, and it's 43 portraits. So all digital, all like 10 by 10 inches. And then what we see with the portraits is like sometimes a conflicting, confusing thing. So that's like where the fun comes in.
Are they like these?
No.
Different. The new series.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see Benji's art all over town. Benji is the person who reworked our logo. He added a signature little octopus to it. And I've been sprinkling that all over everything. You can also stop into the brewery. There's art on the wall. You redid the Town Criers logo.
Yeah, so we got that sticker. Yeah.
What else? There's so much.
It's kind of just everywhere.
The carnival, remember? Oh, the carnival float that you did with the octopus, which is why
that was done. What's it called?
Mural.
Sam, do you know? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The guidebook.
Oh yeah, yes.
The PBG guidebook.
Yeah.
Oh, and the vault.
And the vault.
Yeah.
And
Right when you walk in the vault, there is Benji's work.
probably some other stuff.
There are wieners on the wall drawn by Benji.
Where?
At the vault.
Oh yeah. Plenty of wieners.
So how long are you in town for?
I don't know.
Okay.
I might be leaving like this weekend. I might be leaving next week.
You know I'm gonna try to convince you to stay longer.
I know, but then you have to like agree to like take it easy with me.
You know I am down to take it easy.
I know. Yeah, I know.
So have you since you've been to town, have you gotten to see everyone that you want to see, or is tonight the night that you're gonna get to see everyone?
Both. A little bit of both.
Nice.
Yeah, we're getting like a little bit more people, and yeah, it should be fun. It should be really fun.
Great.
And it'll be nice too to like be able to be like, hi, friends. Hello, how are you? Like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And especially because I know this is getting a little into it, but like, I don't know if I have that much longer here. So it's good. It's healthy. It's fun.
I'm making a point of having a get together where all of Benji's favorite dogs get to hang out with Benji, because I think Benji might have been more excited to see his favorite dogs in town than the people.
Yeah. They're more unconditional with their love.
I'm unconditional.
Sure.
Yeah. Me and Benji had a conversation a few years ago, and one of the things that stuck out to me the most, and I will remember and treasure forever, is we had a little spat, and we were kind of reconciling. And he said to me, he's like, Harrison, we've been best friends in P-Town for 3 years. That's like being best friends somewhere else for 30 years. And that's
true.
So true.
Which is
There
very,
is
very
a lot
true.
of life lived in a very short amount of time in this town.
Like, I've only been here a week, and it's like I've been here forever. I've been here like a month in, and
Totally.
it's just like, I'm tired. I'm so tired. But it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
But I'm so tired.
But Benji will be at the Commons tonight from 5 to 8, celebrating his 43 portraits.
Yes.
43 portraits. Stop by.
Also, common.bendwg.com is the website.
Okay.
So you can buy these directly through the website. That's common.bendwg.com.
I also put Benji's digital store in the description down bottom if you want to scoop up some art. All of his art's there. You can get t-shirts, bags, mugs, portraits, or pictures.
It's all
Yeah.
there.
It's all there.
It's all there.
And you're coming back to town again as well, right?
Hopefully,
Yes.
I will be coming back August 1st through 9th for my second show, which is at Gaston's.
Oh, great. Oh, you're one of the pop-up artists in this gallery. Oh, awesome.
So.
Well, Benji, I'm so excited to see you back in town. Thanks for coming in this morning. And I love you. Let's head over to Joel Kim Booster. I hung out with him this past Wednesday. Take it away.
Good morning, everyone. We are here at the Provincetown Pride Center with the incredible Joel Kim Booster. Thanks so much for sitting down with me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So you just got to P-Town yesterday ahead of the airing of Outstanding, A Comedy Revolution, happening tonight in Provincetown. Is it your first time in Provincetown?
No. I've been here a few times before.
Oh, nice. And you love it.
I do. I do love it. I do.
I know you picked your side.
No, this is the thing. I find trying to compare Fire Island and P-Town is such a mistake because they are so completely different. The only similarity is that there are gay people and it's tea and they're difficult to get to. That's really where the similarities end. And I think you're just gonna have a very different kind of vacation no matter which one you choose. And there's room in my heart for both.
I love that. I've never been to Fire Island.
Oh, you gotta go.
I'll come visit you next time. Yeah. So I want to talk obviously a little about Outstanding, A Comedy Revolution. It is a documentary highlighting the contributions that queer comedians have had in the world over the past few decades. How did you get involved with the project?
I got involved, Paige Hurwitz, the director, who really made the whole thing happen. I've known since fairly early in my career, and I think I'm just a very small part of the tapestry of the film. I'm very grateful to have been included at all. But like, you know, I think I was there to sort of represent, you know, the new, you know, age of where we're at right now with queer stand-up and our place in the industry.
Yeah, so many queer comedians had the bulk of their career before they were able to come out.
Right.
So it's such a different landscape now that people are able to be out and use their full humanity through their comedy.
Exactly. And I think the big thing for me and my place in the documentary too is that I felt very free and open to talk about whatever I wanted to talk about on stage because of the work that so many of the other comics that are featured in this doc did to make it safe and okay and interesting for me to get to, you know, speak about being gay in a very like less political way than I think a lot of my the people who came before me were able to be.
Totally. How do you feel about the comedians that are coming out now and this discussion happening around like, oh, you can't be funny without...
It's so boring. It's so boring. There is truly nothing you cannot speak about as a stand-up as long as it's funny. And I find that so many comics who are complaining about what they can and cannot say are just not really funny enough to make it work.
Take that, Seinfeld.
No, it's just, listen, like... the fact is that so many of the jokes that they are so protective over are jokes that many people have heard on the playground since they were young or have proliferated online. And as a comedian, like, we're supposed to be better than that. We're supposed to be ahead of the normal person. Like, if what you're saying is something that a 13-year-old has said in a lunchroom, then you're doing something wrong.
Be more funny, be more creative, and you won't have a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. Are there any comedians that you kind of grew up watching, queer comedians that kind of inspired you?
You know, the answer to this question is and will forever be Margaret Cho.
Totally.
I mean,
She's also a P-Town favorite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I talk about her at length in the documentary, but like, she really is, I would not be here without Margaret, and I would not have even, you know, she really painted a picture of what my life could be and how free and open to talk about the things that I talk about. I mean, it's so much of it is modeled after what Margaret did.
Wow. So Outstanding is showing tonight. We're filming this a few days before you're watching this. Where can they watch it otherwise?
It comes out on Netflix on June 18th.
Awesome. That's really exciting. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today. I hope you have a really fabulous time in P-Town, but that's guaranteed, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
He's here. Okay. Thank you, Joel. It was truly an honor to interview Joel. He was so sweet, so charming. Please welcome Tom Recchio. Thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
If you don't know Tom's work, he is the obituary writer for the Provincetown Independent. And when we first started doing our partnership with the Independent and having their reporters come on, one of the people I was like, we have to get Tom Recchio on because I love your obituaries.
So how did you come to Provincetown? How did you get involved with the paper?
Well, I've been doing summers in Wellfleet for about 25 years. And when I retired from the University of Connecticut in 2018,
I'm an alumni.
oh, really? What year?
2009.
Oh, okay. I was there to 2018. I was there 1989 till
Oh, wow. We were there at the same time.
I directed the writing program until 1989 until 2012.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, after I retired, my wife and I decided to get a year-round house on the Cape. I had started reading the paper, and I thought, wow, this is really a great project. And so when we bought our house, I sent my resume to Teresa and Ed. Paper, they looked at it, called me.
Immediately.
It's about 20 minutes after.
They're halfway through. They're like, get him on the phone.
So, yeah, and I had no experience in journalism at all. I mean, I taught 19th century British fiction. My research is on publishing history, American and British novelists in the 19th century, women novelists particularly. So I'm used to writing really long things, 450-page manuscripts, stuff like that.
Light reading.
Yeah, light reading. So writing roughly 500 word to 1,200 word stories was really quite a challenge. I had to learn how to boil things down and find those one or two details that would tie someone's story together.
I think the beauty of an obituary, particularly the ones that you write, I think like a lot of us, like, oh, this old person died or this person died. And you kind of like, if you don't know the person, you kind of gloss over. You're like, I don't know the person. Why would I read this? And then I don't want to say force myself, but I read them because, as we were discussing, like you could see someone at the grocery store, or you see the old lady who's there, or the gentleman, or the young person. It's not obviously not just old people that die. And you see that person, you're like, oh, they're part of the community. And then you read the story that you've compiled of their life and the little anecdotes and the things that you've gotten from the family or whatever. And you read it like, oh, now I know that person. And I wish I had gotten to know that person when they were still here.
And so often there's a legacy that they have in Provincetown for 30, 40 years.
Yeah. I know.
How do you collect the information? Because you don't know all these people, obviously.
Try to strike up a rapport and conversation, ask open-ended questions, and listen. And I know the best interviewers are when people say, oh, that just occurred to me, or oh yeah, she did this when she was 22. And then those moments often are kind of crystallizing moments that tie other parts of the person's life together and make a coherent story.
And I find often there's like more than not a little like a saucy anecdote, because I think like our paper is a little bit more
town.
Yeah, it's the people that live here are a little more saucy than others. But even in a what you would think would be a conservative life, you always have this little nugget where you're like, oh, I wish I had known. I would have had a drink with that lady or whatever.
Well, that probably comes from my mother died at the very beginning of the pandemic, and she was in her 90s. She had dementia, and she was in South Carolina, and I could not go down to the funeral. I was not involved with any of the kind of afterlife things. And so they put a picture of her in her last months where she just looked like a mad woman. And the local religious people put together something that masqueraded as an obituary that presented her as this nice, kindly lady who read her Bible. I remember my mother getting wolf whistles when I was in elementary school and driving a Plymouth Fury convertible and leaving rubber when the light turned green.
Smoking a cigarette.
Yes, that's
we want to have a
cigarette.
drink with her.
Yeah. So this is a woman who had a life,
Right?
And they turned her into this old lady cliche, and I was outraged by it.
And you found, and I'm sure that kind of weird time where we couldn't grieve people, or we couldn't like physically even be present for people's passings, like affects you, and it's a little traumatic to a lot of people. But so you found an outlet kind of way to do this, where you honor people. It's an incredible skill that you have.
Thank you so much for your work.
Yeah,
thanks for coming in this morning as well.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And if you don't know, the Provincetown Independent is our local newspaper, and it is full of writing by people like Tom, local people in the community that do stories that you wouldn't see elsewhere, and it's smartly written, and we're so happy to have them as a sponsor, as a partnership that we work with here. So.
Yeah. If you want to support them, you can support them through the local journalism project. The link is in the bio, and you can donate on that site there. Yeah. Let's head over to Babes and Boys to find out everything we've got going on this weekend.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the June 14th version of the Wake Up Weekly Roundup. We're going to dive right in. There's a lot to do. Starting with Kohi Coffee is now at 379 Commercial Street, where Wired Puppy once was. Go say hi to the folks at Kohi Coffee, and they also have some sandwiches and food on the menu, so get a treat. Also at the Commons, 43 Portraits by Benji has been going on and will continue to the 23rd. Congratulations, Benji. We are so proud of you. Also, the Provincetown International Film Festival will go on all weekend. If you haven't seen any of the films, there's some really good ones, including some Provincetown shorts. Stop what you're doing. Go check out the lineup. Go see them. Also, Frolic is back in town. Welcome, boys. The Frolic Weekend will continue until the 17th with an amazing lineup of parties and fun times. Also, in addition, Frolic Weekend teams up with Test and Treat and Health Innovations. You can check them out at this QR code and on-site locations. We'll be at Shipwreck Lounge on the 14th and Saturday at the Crown and Anchor, June 15th. So here we go. Starting on Friday, Perry's Wine Shop is having in-store wine tasting from 5 to 7:30. Go check out their Bordeaux. After the wine tasting, you can check out High Tea at the Gifford House, which is going to start at 6 p.m. and go on all summer. Then at the Red Room, Broadway Barbie with Suddenly Seymour is happening, and that'll be at 7 p.m. And at 8:30 p.m., Varla Jean has the Errors Tour happening Tuesday through Saturday at the Crown and Anchor. Also, congratulations and happy opening to the Grindr Help Desk musical, playing now at the Post Office. That brings us to Saturday, where Jeanette de Beauvoir has a book launch celebration at 2 p.m. at the Provincetown Public Library. And Fruit Basket's happening at the Crown and Anchor at 9 p.m. Congratulations, Kristen Becker. I can't wait to get my laughs on with you. Then head on over to the high school, where we will be having the Provincetown Film Society Prom, which has a Romeo and Michelle High School reunion theme. You can check out tickets at provincetownfilm.org. And it's a fundraiser for the Provincetown Film Society, which helps keep year-round theater happening all year long. Then on Sunday, it's one of your last chances to get at 20 Summers in the Barn with the Work of Art happening at 5 p.m. And at 6:30, you can catch a Juneteenth Cabaret with James Jackson Jr. over at the Gifford House in the Wild. More information at Juneteenth P-Town. Also, the Mosquito Story Slam is happening on Sunday at 7 p.m. over at the Provincetown Theater, and this time the theme is True Colors, so get your stories ready. And congratulations to Hilary Tamar, who's opening their show Be My Baby over at the Crown and Anchor Sundays at 7:30 in the Cabaret. All right, if that's not enough, Monday continues, because we got Broadway on the Beach happening every Monday at 7:30. Break legs, y'all. This is the start of Broadway on the Beach. And also our very own Bob Keary has their late night show happening over at the Post Office at 10 p.m. Tuesday, Joao has a show at 9 p.m. over at the Crown and Anchor. Happy opening to you. Also, happy opening to The Devil Wears Payless happening at the Post Office, and that's at 10 p.m. And Kaya's Cabaret is happening in the Cabaret over at the Crown and Anchor. And at 10:30 over at the Crown and Anchor, Giselle Will Rock You with her show She Will Rock You. That brings us to Wednesday, where a community cookout celebration is going to happen for Juneteenth over at the UU. And if you go all the way out to Herring Cove, and I think you will because the sunsets are fantastic, Zoe Lewis and the Souvenirs are kicking off the Wednesday evening summer sunset concert series. Farland has food out there as well. Back in town, the Simple Sisters are having their show at the OC. Also on Thursday, Clam Jam is back in house over at the Crown and Anchor from 1 to 4 p.m. Always a great time. Get on those floaties and get in that pool. Upcoming, join the Compact as they celebrate their stories on June 23rd at 6 p.m. with their social and the 7 p.m. curtain over at the Provincetown Theater. It's free and open to the public, but a reservation is suggested. Thank you so much to everyone who has sent in items for this week. We look forward to expanding our reach and getting your items out there. Please send us an update. Please send us a gift. Please send us an image. We'll get at you. And that's babesandboys@gmail.com or on Instagram at babesandboys. All right, take care of yourselves. We're getting into the thick of it. Have fun at the beach, y'all. Also, this underscoring was brought to you by Houseboy with their new release, Airplane Mode. You can catch them on Instagram at Houseboy and on YouTube.
Thank you, Sam, and babes and boys. Check out everything going on this weekend. There is absolutely so much. Speaking of things going on this weekend, please welcome Mitchell Anderson.
Hey.
He is the second star of the 4-star solo show. How's Provincetown treating you?
Oh my God, it's so perfect. And, you know, the weather, we got here on the, 7 o'clock ferry on Tuesday night. The weather has been perfect all week.
And it isn't always. So
yeah. I mean,
June is nuts. The
yeah,
best month always.
it's like, it's the perfect weather.
Yeah.
The last time I was here was in June, same time, and I love it.
So you might know Mitchell from his acting in the 90s.
Right, 80s and 90s.
Uh-huh.
Big television star. Well, not really.
But yeah.
Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
Party of Five.
Party of Five.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you kind of became like an accidental gay rights activist in the
That's
mid-90s.
correct.
How did that come to
Right.
be?
So I was on Party 5, and they, after the first few episodes, they decided that the show took place in San Francisco, and I was a violin teacher, and they decided it would be interesting to introduce my character, have my character come out. And, you know, at that point in my life, I was 34. I had done quite a lot of work in television and on film and all over the country on stage. And, you know, at that time in Hollywood, you know, I landed in Hollywood in 1985. I was trying to be a young leading man actor. I was also coming to terms with my sexuality, and everybody was dying around us, you know. And the show, You Better Call Your Mother, is really about that process and that journey through negotiating all those lanes, like how you be a human being and in the world, and political, which I thought was incredibly important, since all my friends were at risk and some of them were dying of AIDS in that scary time of the AIDS crisis. But I was also trying to be a legitimate, you know, actor in a difficult and closeted world. And
still to this day, that's difficult. People will
to this day,
yeah.
it's difficult. And it was all sort of fine. And I learned how to negotiate the world of, you know, some press that I was doing and my personal life. And then I started doing a lot more sort of behind the scenes activism work, like raising money for HIV and, you know, the AIDS Walk in LA. I was a primary volunteer for years and years and years. And, you know, I was becoming more and more comfortable sort of with my life, and also working as an actor and doing pretty well. And those two things didn't seem to be a problem. But then when, you know, the producers of Party 5 said, hey, we're going to make your character gay, I was like, holy shit, now I've got to like deal with this sort of in the public. So I was at the GLAAD Awards in 1996. They asked me to present an award, and, you know, in the press line, everybody kept asking me, what's it like to play a gay character when you're straight?
Oh.
And yeah, and I was like, enough, I can't do it anymore. Like, I can't pretend. I'd been in a relationship for 12 years. My family, my friends, and, you know, frankly, most of my business associates knew I was gay. And I sat there before I was on stage, and I thought, you know, I can't do it anymore. So I hopped up on stage, and before I gave my award, I said, look, I'm an actor, and I'm on a television show, and I play a gay character, and I actually happen to be gay. And the crux of my play is, at that moment, my life changed. I wrote the play sort of in honor of my 60th birthday in 2021, coming out of COVID. You know, everybody was isolating, and I was like, I want a project. I own this restaurant. I'm a chef now, and you know, obviously, COVID was incredibly challenging for everybody in the world, but it was very emotional, and I needed something that was mine. So I wrote this play, and I realized that I would not have been able to create the life that I have at age 60, a 27-year relationship, married for 8 years with an amazing person that he's my life, you know, and I wouldn't have been able to have that. I wouldn't have been able to have this 20-year career as a chef in a very active, beautiful restaurant in Atlanta, if I hadn't taken that step to just accept everything in me
and to be a whole person.
Correct. That's exactly
so
right.
So much
a whole
energy
person.
wasted, like
right.
Putting that part
and
away.
I definitely, you know, feel like as an actor, I held myself back because I wasn't able to take all the tools in my toolbox to work. And I had to hide some of those tools, and that's not right. And I feel at age 62, almost 63, I can walk on a stage and be tons better than I was back then when I was trying to hide things. And I can tell this story. And the coolest thing happens is that in any audience, they get things. You know, I talk a lot about my relationship with my parents and how that changed with me coming out in public. You know, we can come out to our parents when we're in our early 20s, but they don't have to come out.
Right.
And it wasn't until I came out.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when I came out and I started doing interviews on Entertainment Tonight, and I say in the show, like, for that moment of 1996, I was the face of gay Hollywood. Right. And if USA Today needed a quote about some gay thing, they called me, you know? So like all mom and dad's friends were like, hey, wow, this is incredible. Congratulations.
Oh, well,
and I think both of my parents, my dad more than my mom necessarily, but my dad was like, wow, you know, you've done something. You've established yourself as a human being. And really the the conclusion of my show, I say I've had an interesting life. I've known love and happiness. I've gotten to experience success and hard work. And most importantly for me, my parents were proud of me before they died. And that's what people get, you know, and that's what I'm thrilled to be here in an audience of people very similar age, very similar stories, and being able to give that to the Provincetown world. And thank you to David Drake and Gary Garrison for bringing me here and allowing me to continue telling my story.
Because you're going to have the people in the audience that have had the similar experience, but that in the gay world have had the exact opposite experience.
Right.
And you're like, oh, I wish I had that, but
Yeah.
good for you. And
I met a lovely person last night who I think is about my age, and he was a very successful dancer, had a career as a dancer, and he said his father just recently passed away, and before he passed away, he said, "Come here," and he got up and he danced with him, and this, oh my God, it was so moving to me, you know. And he said, I hadn't thought of that in so long, and you know, for me to be like the sort of catalyst for people to remember that last moment with their parents, or maybe their parents aren't gone yet, and maybe they can get back into there and go, how can I let them go with grace and love, you know? And that's really what I feel like I learned in my life, you know?
So opening night was last night.
Yeah.
We've got 2 more shows.
2 more shows.
The link is in the bio. I feel like you're all definitely gonna get tickets now.
I hope so.
like,
And I sing, so
Oh,
and
there you
there's
go.
really
It's
there's really
not
good
all-
music, and and there's laughs. It's not all like sad. It's it's a good show about a story about, you know, finding who you are.
Thank you so much for coming in this
And
morning.
you better call your mother.
And call your mother
Call
and
your
get
mother.
tickets. The link is in the description. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mitchell.
Let's head over to an extra special weather segment.
Good morning, guys. It's a gorgeous morning here in the west end of P-Town, and we have had some stunningly fantastic weather this past week. Temps have been in the high 70s, and we were treated to a rare dawn rainbow on Wednesday morning. Take a look at this stunning shot from Josh. Today I'm in front of the boat slip to mark the return of daily tea, but before we talk about that, let's do the weather. We might have a thunderstorm roll through later today.
Boom, boom, boom. Here's the thunderstorm. Hi. You thought I didn't know what you were doing. You wanted more than a pretty face to do the weather. Handsome, rich, my grand orations about structural inequities and climate change just weren't enough for you. So fine. You want to talk about tea dance 3 times. Give the people what they want. And I've already found the weather, so you can have it. And next week, I'm starting my own little segment, which is called Pavement Prattle with Anne, where I can talk about whatever I want, and I don't have to worry about what Mother Nature is giving. So there. Boom, boom. There's the thunderstorm. Goodbye.
God, I love her. Huge fan. Thank you, Anne. Thank you very much. So as I was saying, thunderstorms this afternoon, then a bit cooler to start off the weekend tomorrow, but it will be sunny and get warmer through the middle of next week. In short, more gorgeous weather ahead. Today marks the return of daily tea, which runs through the middle of September. The boat slip is running 5 theme days a week this year. Monday is Generation X, 90s and 2000s club anthems and guilty pop pleasures. Wednesday is Pretty in Pink, New Wave, don't forget to wear pink. Thursday is Solid Gold Disco. Friday is Dog Tag Tea, Gear Up and Report for Duty. And Sunday is Over the Rainbow, think sparkles, wigs and heels. Oz for inspiration. Saturday, we'll see special pop-up themes throughout the summer, and don't forget the pool deck and grill will also be open daily. Finally, a new feature. The tides this weekend are ideal for both trips out to Boy Beach and late-night activities, if you know what I mean. Low tide is about 12:30 tonight, and again, 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. These tides are on the smaller side, so your feet should be dry wherever you're standing on the sand. Don't forget to join one of Anne's tours this summer. You can find more information on all things Anne Hutchison, including her comedy shows. Follow her at American Jezebel on Insta. Everyone have a great weekend. For those of you in town, I will see you at tea. Guys, back to you at the brewery.
Thank you, Sean, and an extra special appearance from our very own Anne Hutchinson. Please welcome Ahmed. How are you?
Good, how are you guys?
Good. Provincetown's Prince. So you have a short film in one of the short film series this weekend for the film festival.
You do, yeah. I have. It's called a cheer for her. It's playing today at 4 p.m. and Sunday at 1:30 as part of Takes a Village.
So you co-wrote it.
I co-wrote it
with one of the stars.
Yeah, with Mujanda Babi, an actor and writer from New York, and it stars her and Murray Bartlett, and we shot it here in town mostly, and it's a bit of a love letter to Provincetown and its landscape.
How'd you get Murray Bartlett?
Who is this Murray Bartlett?
He lives down the road. So
oh, that's why. That's how.
Hey, you person over there, you want to be in a movie?
If you didn't see,
hold on, we're gonna.
Hold on.
We're just adjusting our microphones. We're all having to wear a lot of hats today, and okay, my bad.
Okay, perfect. If you didn't watch the Emmys a few years ago, how did it feel to get called out in an Emmys thank you speech?
It was nice. I mean, I was touched by it. It was really sweet.
How did Matt feel about you getting?
Fine.
Okay, good.
I mean, he was cold too, so it's, it's a family affair.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us a little about your short film that's premiering today.
The short is about it follows Vaughn, a ranger, a national park ranger that lives in the end of the world, and his longtime ex comes to town with some secrets. So it's a little melodrama, about choices that we make and that could fuck up with other people's life.
Yes, that's true, right? You fuck up your own life, but like when you start fucking up somebody else's, does he wear the hat?
Does he wear that?
The ranger hat?
I mean, he wears the shirt, but not the hat. I know.
You don't want to get those uniform fetishes all riled up.
Definitely, I based that character loosely on Mark Adams. And then slowly I realized actually he has more stakes in the story than I anticipated.
Yes.
Interesting.
When I was dating Mark and he, I was like, do you have the hat? He's like, I don't have the hat. I was like, damn it.
Kinky.
Yes.
See, I mean, everybody did it, everybody. So
God,
makes sense.
Everybody said everybody.
Honestly, if we were doing the Mark Adams biopic, I feel like Murray would be perfect to play him. So
he's practicing. At least he practiced in the shorts. So.
Yeah, right. So this isn't your first foray into directing. Tell us a little about your experience in directing.
I've been directing since 2010. I went to school in New York for film and media studies, made my first short to graduate, and I've been directing since. I've made a bunch of shorts. I've been directing TV in the last couple of years. I did a couple of episodes of a show called Single Drunk Female, and a new show that's coming out, a Hulu show called Deli Boys.
Cool. So do you lean more towards comedy or drama or in between? Or
I mean, I kind of direct a lot, but like in TV, it's been only comedy, which is funny. But all the films that I directed, it's kind of dramatic or melodramatic.
You know, Bob takes credit for getting one of those jobs, right?
He does. I mean, he only let me. Okay, the story goes like I'm having this meeting for my first TV job, and I go upstairs. I'm like, Bob, the lighting downstairs is weird. I'm feeling nervous. I use his office for the Zoom meeting, and he's like, oh, what are you going for? And I was like, I'm going for this show. So he looks it up and he's like, oh, Ali Sheedy is in it. I'm like, who? He's like, what? So he gave me like a little bit of a quick history of Ali Sheedy and that movie.
That movie. The Breakfast Club, right?
The Breakfast Club. So I go in and I have my meeting and it's really good. And in the end, I'm like, you guys, that show is amazing. It has Ali Sheedy, Breakfast Club. Oh my God. And a couple of gay executives just completely went cool.
My favorite movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I came out, I was like, oh my God. And Bob was like, okay, you got this job because of me.
Right.
Of course he did.
I'm sure Bob is texting me right now.
I read part of an interview with you, and I guess it was in the Independent. You're Egyptian, but the thing that you don't want to be known as, like, I'm only telling stories of my people or whatever like that, and I think that that's an important mindset to get into, where you're like, don't call me and ask me about this. Like, I want to tell stories about people that interest me, which is what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I love representation, and a lot of like minority groups have been having like spotlights in the last 5-10 years. But sometimes also you get kind of pigeonholed as the guy that like you should, like people are expecting to get like immigration stories or, you know, Arab stories from people like me. And I actually, A Cheer for Her is an attempt to, you know, just walk away from that for a minute. Like, you know, I love telling story about myself that's identity driven, but sometimes also I feel like, can I just make a movie about two people? And A Cheer for Her is that.
So it's a great way to define yourself as a filmmaker, to be like, okay, here's my thing, and this is what I do. Now, maybe I'll do this, but also like that's not going to be my go-to.
Exactly.
Are you out as a filmmaker?
I mean, I'm out.
Okay.
Murray's calling him his prince on the end.
He is out. And I've seen you walk a runway.
Sure.
Are you going to be in Jimmy Lee's fashion show again?
Always. I'm like a resident model.
So you can catch the short today and on Sunday?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, today at 4, Sunday at 1:30. And it's really great to see. A lot of people work on it in town. A lot of venues and places in town that have been really, really generous to us.
I think you were in Cafe Heaven for a second.
I was in Cafe Heaven. Yeah, we shot like in the Clemens Shack in you know, out in the dunes, and Chris Nagel's house on the Leak in Truro.
Yeah, if you want to film a movie, like we're like, oh, what about Provincetown? Everybody's like, yes.
I know.
Like Marco's movie opens tonight.
True,
High Tide.
So,
also tonight and Sunday.
Yeah, tonight at 6:30, Sunday at 1:30 as well. And it's old P-Town.
Another movie where if you don't blink, you might see me.
Oh, right. Local Honey.
Local Honey. Harrison Fisher's Local Honey as man in drag. They couldn't call me a drag queen. They had to call me a man in drag.
Yeah, well,
Okay, we love that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations on your new short film.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you all for watching. A big thank you to Mark for jumping into the sea with no notice.
Zero notice.
Yeah. Bob, feel better. A big thank you to our sponsors, the Crown and Anchor, the Provincetown Brewing Company, the Boat Slip, Shipwreck at the Brass Key, the Provincetown Business Guild. And thank you for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are.
We did it. We'll see you next week.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown.